Okay, so I realized I just filmed that whole video call without recording, so I just wanted to do this over again so everybody can kind of see what we went over and what we did. So what we were basically looking at is we had one agent that was trying to get a quote off of the Alliance UL product for a client of theirs that has some pretty terrible insurance. It's four of them. One of them is a 50-year-old male who has a $30,000 increasing term, a 37-year-old tobacco smoking female that has 150,000 on a 30-year term with three children, a 19-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 21-year-old rider that's attached to it for $10,000 each. So basically, we're just going to go in and kind of show you how to run this illustration for them. So let's go into our GPM dashboard. And that's going to be here. Let's go into we're going to go into our GPM dashboard. That's what's going to look like when you log in. You're going to scroll down to GPM illustration life portraits. It's going to open up your dashboard, and we're just going to use the one I currently have. We did this one. When you pull it up, it's going to look like create new illustration. You're going to create a new client, type in their first name and their date of birth. This guy is 50. We don't know his date of birth. 1970 should put him at 50 years old and a male. So then we're going to go to next. You change it to where you signed it, and this guy is in Virginia, so we're going to change the state to Virginia. And you're always going to change this plan type from term to universal life. And we're going to create the illustration. He has diabetes and high blood pressure, but they're both well under controlled. You can see what ailments they have in that underwriting guides button. And then down here, it's going to show you what they would qualify for. So here it's got all of the ailments on the impairment guide. We can look at the diabetes section right here and see that diabetes type 2 is going to be a standard plus to standard express. And his hypertension, he believes is well under controlled, is going to be a standard plus. So we believe he's going to get a standard plus approval based on that. So we're going to look at the class and keep it here at standard plus, non-tobacco. The next thing you're going to do is come down to look at face amounts. The lowest you can go on the face amount, that's going to be your base coverage that can last for a lifetime, $25,000. And we're going to change this to guideline premium, from target to guideline. The guy wanted $150,000 in coverage, so we're going to click on riders and give him a term product, which is called the additional insurance rider. You're going to click that button. We're going to look at 20 years worth of coverage, and he wanted $150,000 for 20 years. So we're going to take the $25,000 base amount we had on the first page, add that to this. So we're going to give him $125,000 in 20-year term coverage. Go over to action, preview illustration, and that's going to show us that's going to spit this out, and it's going to give us 25,000 in base, $82.93 per month. And then if you scroll down to page 7, you can see where he has for 20 years, $150,000 in coverage. After 20 years, the term rolls off and he's left with this whole life part of 25,000. Your cash surrender value is going to be how much cash the account has in it. And then what I like to do for people, especially if we're comparing policies, is to pull out a net insurance cost. So let's say he keeps this for 30 years and decides he doesn't want it anymore. He's got roughly $11,000 in cash value on the account that he's going to be able to pull out of there. So he has paid in $995 every year. That's over here, every year for 30 years. So $995 times 30 is $29,850. His cash value is $10,898. So we subtract his premium outlay of roughly $30,000 minus his $11,000 in cash value is a total insurance cost for $18,952. Divide that by 30 years, means he's paying $631 a year for insurance, and divide that by 12. That gives you $52 a month that he's paying for the insurance as his net. So if you present it to them that way, it usually helps you out a lot, and they can see the value and why having cash value versus a regular term product is beneficial. The other scenario we wanted to work up is to give him more whole life. Still trying to keep it under the $217 a month they're currently paying, but giving them more value and longer insurance. So we went $50,000 in his whole life part. Back over to riders. Give him $50,000 for 20 years. So he'll have $100,000 in coverage for 20 years. And then after that, he'll have $50,000. That was going to cost $98.60 per month. And then if you scroll back down to here, it's going to show you that he's got $100,000 for 20 years. After 20 years, it rolls off to $50,000, and his cash value is a lot higher. So if we do the net math on that one, instead of $52 a month like he was paying on the other insurance, he's paying a total of $1,183 per year for insurance. Times that by 30 years, $35,000 for the year. Subtract out his 30-year cash value, which was $28,252, $7,000 a year. We're going to divide that by 30. $28,525. Divide that by 30 years. That's $950 a year. Divide that by 12. $79 a month, but he's got a lot more insurance. He also has a lot more cash value that he can pull out of there. So we ran that scenario for him as well as for his wife of 37 years old, and then their 3 kids instead of having term riders. And then we came out to about $3 more per month than they're currently paying for insurance, but they have a lot of cash value. Their children had $15,000 more in coverage, and they had guaranteed insurance. Their insurance wasn't going to go up or down, and it didn't expire. So that's what we used to illustrate out for a family of 4. It came out and it worked really nicely for them. And yeah, so that's kind of how we did it with the Alliance UL.